I'm Wilton Porter, and my horse is Diamante Darko, and we just won the individual gold at the North American Young Rider Championships.
My name is Lucas Porter. My horse is Phineas. He's a 12-year-old Oldenburg, and I just won the gold at the North American Junior Championships.
These are our parents.
Yes, I'm Suzanne Porter, and this is
BG Porter.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, first of all, great training, and second of all, hard work by the boys, and great horses. And we've, been working at the jumpers for a long time now, and I think our hard work is paying off.
Yes, I'm not allowed to ride any valuable horse, but all of us enjoy riding and have all grown up riding a bit. But it's just a great family passion, but behind the whole passion is the mom, Suzanne, who's made it all happen. And then the boys have just gotten better and better and have a great trainer, great program, and this is just a real great peak to have achieved. Now we'll move on to the next ones.
I think we're all sort of still in shock. We're definitely happy, but it's definitely sort of takes a while to sort of sink in on the accomplishment that we've done and the hard work and how it's paid off.
Yeah, for me it hasn't really sunk in yet, but we're actually deciding whether we're going to come back next year, and I would maybe do Young Riders, but still haven't decided.
So we started out when Luke and I were both really young. I was about 8 years old, and we got a pony named Chessie. My brother was still sort of not interested in horses, but my mom had grown up jumping, so she had this passion for horses, and we kept Chessie out at this ranch. And I started taking lessons on her, actually Western lessons. And so I did that for 2 years, and then my brother started riding her a little too, so we sort of shared this pony. And eventually we jumped like just the little plank on the ground in the field, and that was our first time sort of experiencing jumping. And from then on we switched to English style riding, and I took lessons along with my brother from my mom initially, and then from there it just sort of took off over the years.
So before, like up until I was about, I would say 10 years old, we mostly stayed in Texas and in the South doing kind of smaller shows. But then we started training with Todd Minicus, and he actually showed us the big shows and got us competing against the top riders in the country. And
How old
I was like around 10.
He was 10, and I would have been
14.
13.
Yeah.
13 years old when we really became serious competitors. Definitely lots of challenges, and I think that's one of the biggest things about the journey is how you take the challenges, how you handle the losses along with the wins. The first time I came here and competed in Young Riders, I actually fell off. So it just, and this is my third time. Last year I was fourth, and now I've finally won it. So it's definitely a journey. And sometimes your hard work pays off and sometimes it doesn't, but that's just the sport.
For sure, it's a journey for me. Last year I came here really kind of a novice rider at meter 40. And I finished 6th overall, which I was happy with. And this year, I really wanted to come back and win it before we move on to higher heights and bigger shows. And luckily, I did that this year. So my trainer has helped me a lot with my mental game because I don't have that much confidence in myself. So it's always key for me to believe that I can do it and to believe that my horse can do it. And this entire week, I've just tried to stay calm and just try to jump a clean round each round I've gone into, not really worry about the points, because I knew that the standings or the overall final standings would end up how they would end up. So I just tried to mind my own business a bit this week and stay calm.
My brother and I are actually very different, I'd say, in our mental game. I would actually say he's a little steadier than I am because he's able to perform really well under pressure time and time again, and I've had my fair share of meltdowns, I'd say, along with the successes. But with me, it's just about sort of not letting the emotion of wanting to win so badly take over what the job is at hand, like what I've been practicing and how to properly ride the course. And so for me, it's about staying calm and remembering just the skills that it takes to get the job done.
I think that's probably my job in connection with John, and they're kind of different riders, and we don't buy horses with the idea that they'll be shared, but it's worked out on a couple of occasions where Lucas has been able to pick up a horse from Wilton and vice versa. And, you know, we're just watching the type of horse and the type of ride and figuring out what makes the most sense. You know, we do everything in kind of 5-year increments, and I think for both of them that's the commitment for the next 5 years, and then we'll assess where we are in each case and figure out what they want to do. Wilton's at Vanderbilt. Lucas will go to college as well, and that's an important part of their life. So, you know, right now it's just more of the same.
You know, we'll want them to do whatever they're passionate about that will be meaningful for them in their life, and this teaches many life's lessons, and they're learning those. But they are both great time managers and very dedicated students, and so I just think the boys are in a great position to keep learning and growing. And if this is their calling, then that'll be terrific.
I had a trainer, Katie Prudent. She told me one time that you're only as good as your last round, and that's really important to remember. So we might have won today, but we could have a rail the next time we compete, and it's just a very humbling sport. And for those who are trying to shoot for young riders next year, I'd say just sort of stay with it and persevere regardless of the good and the bad.
For riders coming here next year trying to win, I would say to the entire week of the championship to stay calm and not really look at the points that much. I mean, I don't think I looked at the standings until this morning, so that's, I think, part of my success is because I didn't worry about any of that. I just tried to come in here this morning and do 2 clean rounds, and other than that, just like keep your head down and keep riding well.
Yeah, we're very attached to our Texas home. We've got a farm in Florida that we're actually probably based out of more now, but we would always consider our home to be Texas, and so anything that we can do to kind of represent that, we kind of take that opportunity. These were Christmas presents, actually. She got them.
Santa Claus. I'm
going to Europe for a 3-week Young Rider tour with actually a professional level Nations Cup at the culmination in Bratislava, Slovakia. I'm doing that on my other horse, Palyube.
So I'm going to stay here in Kentucky and compete for the next 2 weeks on my horses. Probably Phineas will probably have the 2 weeks off, but the other horses have to keep going, so I'll do that. And then after that, we're going to do 2 shows in New York, one in the Hamptons and one near North Salem, New York, and then the indoors.
Thank you.
Thank you.